Hey everyone.
Good morning, everybody, or afternoon.
Morning.
Good morning.
Definitely morning.
Definitely morning. Hello,
Yeah.
everybody.
Everyone in my chat, make sure to head over to Quexel's chat. I should
Holy
open
crap.
that up too, so I can.
That's a nice
That's
setup.
so nice.
Yeah.
All right.
Should be good times. Let's see.
Yeah, you say good times. Let's relate that to the fact that I've had terrible practice, so he doesn't mean on my timers.
Don't even talk to me about bad practice, dude. If I get anything
Okay.
close to the RNG I had last night.
It's all out of the way now, right?
Exactly. We got all the bad stuff out of the way. Here comes the good times.
That's what the practice is for.
I got a double back attack mage magnetic cave. Where they
I got a front attack.
both of them both times they held Sid, so
Oh no.
Ooh.
Been there, but ow.
Well, it is 10 Eastern, so I guess we're ready to get this show on the road whenever you guys are ready to start.
yeah.
Oh boy.
I
I'm
am
good,
on the
honestly.
screen.
I'm on new game screen as well, so
One,
Likewise.
2, 3. Who else are we missing?
is El Magus
We got all
there?
four?
Yeah.
Guess as soon as El Magus is ready, we can get going. He said he just had to take care of something.
Sounds good.
Quick.
Yep.
Oddball thing,
There.
Wexel, you've got your cursor by the T in Team Wyvern. If that matters. Okay, you got it. That delay.
Yeah, I figured rather than
Spelled
trying to
Dusler
screen
wrong.
cap 12 different W-split instances, I'm just screen capping 2 MS Word pads that have the timers sitting on top of them.
Nice. I
Nice.
like
Oh,
that.
nice.
That works. Whew, alrighty.
Did you say you're ready to go, El Magus?
Yes, I'm ready.
Alright, let me just quick resize Dusler a little bit. Alright, we are going to be starting in 5, 4, 3, 2,
Oh, wow.
1, go!
Off and running. Good luck,
Good luck,
guys.
guys.
Oh shit.
Good luck to everybody.
Best
And
of
gal
luck.
later on in the
Good luck.
race.
Have fun.
That's the important thing. We're here to have fun, so let's have a good time with
Yeah.
this more than anything.
Oh, and even though it doesn't look like they've started, they have. It's just the little thing called Twitch delay.
Yep, he's recapturing all 4 of our streams, so there's going to be an oddball delay on Poexels.
Yeah,
but
when we
you'll-
do 5, mine will have a little bit of an unfair advantage because of being directly attached to my computer, but it's 5,
just
which
make
is
you
in the
start 20
middle,
seconds
and
later.
middle will already be about 4 hours in, so...
Yeah, it doesn't matter, honestly. It doesn't matter one bit.
Yeah, I'm just seeing it starting now.
Yep.
I don't have it open because I don't trust my internet.
Yeah.
I'm already pushing the limits for being on Skype. I mean, gee.
My
Can't imagine
Windows
trying to host
Vista
it all.
is angry right now.
Is Windows Vista ever happy?
I don't know, but
It sure asks a lot.
Yay, no Florida attack.
Doesn't
Same.
seem like there's any volume on any game. Don't know if you wanted to have volume.
oh, that Raven
Raven
attack.
whiffed. My Raven whiffed.
Yeah. Oh, for all the
Thanks for the
people
extra
watching, I
fun,
was planning to have game audio during this run, but unfortunately we found that we couldn't do that without echoing the Skype call too. So we'll have game audio for 5 and maybe for 6, but for 4, you're gonna get to listen to our lovely voices.
Sweet.
Because, you know, early in the morning, yeah, this is what you want to wake up to, right? All of us rambling about Final Fantasy. Good. No, I'm kidding.
Alright, with that quick
Morning,
Raven
guys.
kill, looks like Elmagus takes the lead.
Oh no. Guys,
Uh-oh.
guys, a beast at matching text.
Other thing you could
Fun
do,
part, somebody's up by
Wexel,
like
is
10
just play
seconds
the.
soon.
You could just play the OC remix album of FF4. Not like that's a bad
That
thing.
would not be an awful idea, actually. That's what I was originally planning to do, but I didn't test it at all. But it's not like I'm doing anything too productive right now.
Yeah, just start it off really quiet and then slowly raise it up, and that should work. But morning, everyone. Nice to see some FF4 early.
Yeah, wow.
Oh, wow,
already
tons of hype
600
for it, my goodness.
People.
That front page.
That front page.
That's
Oh wow, 800 viewers already? My...
I'm
Well,
sure
you know,
like
I see
1500.
Whoa.
1500.
Oh,
Yeah, me
wow.
too.
Yeah, 1500.
awesome.
Damn.
People like Final Fantasy,
Hello to
and
everyone.
I am very, very much okay with that.
And there's going to be a lot of it today, and it's going to be good.
It's early in the day.
I'm
Although it is a
walking.
weekend, I guess.
Yeah, this is true.
So I'm probably behind now because I do my menu right away. I'm not sure if everyone does that or not, or anyone else does
Nope.
that.
I wait till way
No,
later.
I do it with the iron glove.
He does all that right now. He's saying, like, the second he gets control, he does it.
Yeah.
I used to do that based off of Rain's original SDA run that was up.
Yeah.
We're all playing
I
on
think
consoles.
we're all playing on console, Arxis.
Yep.
That's not going to be the
SNES.
case for.
Yes.
Yeah, I think
It's not
I think
going to be the case for FF5.
yeah, for 5, I think everybody except me is
Yeah.
playing on emulator, and then I think everybody in the 6 part is doing console.
Genocide
that-
Warrior, it's only 6 a.m. where I'm at. It's not 4 a.m. I'm not that hardcore.
You would have just stayed up from last night, and you know it.
If I didn't
Oh,
think
dude,
that like
I should have.
If I didn't think that playing Japanese FF5 wouldn't be such an advantage, because it is with text, I would have just played that. So I think, like, in the case of like just to Wing Raptor, there's about 30 seconds faster of text in the Japanese
Oh, wow.
straight version.
Yeah.
That's huge.
Yeah, that's
So
why I
it's
really
like-
want to start learning 5 in Japanese when I start getting kind of more serious at the game with doing step count manipulation and actually trying to get a better PD, just to see if I can at least cut 4 hours at least without turbo.
I'm pretty sure like the difference between the patch and the normal version, there's a lot of time, like at least a couple minutes to save just on text.
Yeah,
So
'cause I mean the current record is like 348 or so SDA timing. Japanese with turbo.
yep, gotta love that with
Gotta
turbo.
love that turbo.
How's the
I
okay? I
swear,
just
I
started
was-
up the
finally,
FF4 OC remix soundtrack. How's the audio balance, everybody?
And I'm outside the castle.
Are you just
Not
setting
through
it
the
to
cutscene.
random, or are you going to
I'm
try and
sorry.
like...
Try to DJ it up, but no, I'm just playing it
Yeah.
in track order.
Actually,
Oh, okay.
if you do it right, if you play all three CDs in order, by the time the CDs end, if you would have started at the start of the run, by the time the run's over, the CDs would be finishing. It's actually funny like that.
Nice.
You have done this, I take
That's
it.
It's like they knew.
Yes, I have done this, Plexel, because I was like, I want to listen to the OC remix, but I want to run the game. So I muted the game audio, started at the same time, and the CDs were running a little bit long. Like, I can't remember if the game was a little bit longer, the CDs were a little bit longer, but it's about the same time.
Mhm.
Nice.
I'm not
gotta do
counting
that
the
sometime.
bonus one.
Okay, good. Getting good feedback on the audio balance.
Good.
Yeah, sounds good to me.
Yeah, we need a good
Oh.
FF5 album, and you know what? We also need good FF5 shirts too. FF5
Yeah,
is the
I
only
know.
game I run that I don't have a Yeti shirt for.
Yeah.
I need
I'm
another
wearing
FF4
my-
shirt.
I'm wearing my Yeti FF4 shirt right now, actually.
I need another Yeti FF4 shirt. My cat tore a hole in mine.
I'm the sellout. I'm wearing my
I'm
Twitch
wearing
shirt.
I'm wearing like three sweaters and 2 pairs of pants because it's freezing in my room.
Okay, I guess I can take the start time out of the title.
I find it funny, Poexel, because you know, you're 30 seconds behind everyone else's streams. That everyone was. It looks like when on your stream, everyone was just sitting there for 30 seconds before starting.
Yep.
It was hilarious.
You're like, all right, go.
And anything I comment on is delayed by a delay by a delay. So
Delayception going on. That's a beautiful thing about like trying to do this.
I might even just load up all the streams myself on multi-Twitch at this point. Probably be easier for everyone.
I mean, that was. I mean, yeah. That mean, like, I don't know if my computer dies or internet dies or something. That's Plan B. But I like having the one stream thing just to make so that we have one chat room and it's easier to promote the stream on the Twitch front page and stuff.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
And then the other
I'm
thing
talking
is,
more about
like,
just like,
and then this way we don't have to redirect everyone to a multi-Twitch. It's just way easier.
Ooh, we're over
And this is
2,000
easier
viewers
for most
now.
people.
This is oh, by the way, this is a new PB for my stream for viewer counts now. I think the highest
This is only
I
begun.
before was about 1,600 during FF7 runs.
Thanks for using us for
already being rated.
Well, I think probably my only chance to spam ads is probably going to be during the level up fight, because after that it's there probably aren't going to be all 4 players in a good ad point at the same time.
It's true.
That's assuming everything goes well.
Yeah.
Because what it would be really nice is if when we get to 6, if all of us are less than an hour apart, that would be really nice if we could keep that at least that close.
That would be very good.
Given how I was last night, I don't know.
Dude, that was the RNG that Crumps and I got yesterday was so ungodly during our race.
It's okay. Yesterday, I decided I was going to challenge Liquid Flame with Thunder Rods and not Ice Rods.
Ooh, that crit hit.
Lucky, lucky.
Wish I could get one of those. Man, do I hate this fight sometimes.
So yeah, kind of the only real trick with this battle is to try to time Kane's jump so that you jump between or right before it turns back into the dragon, basically.
Just like Dusler did. Just like Dusler did.
And it's not that terrible. It's pretty easy. You just count to 8.
I count to 9, so I don't know what we're doing different, but
It's somewhere in there.
Counts.
Oh my god.
It's about on the 10. I don't know. I always counted to 10.
By the way,
10 is
safety
when I
saves, guys.
I mean, when I start
saves.
running this game, I'm going to look into doing it by the music because I don't really think that should change at all. From run to run.
It's the easiest way. You'll hear it literally like it'll time out perfectly to 8 hi-hat taps. It's perfect.
that's true.
And the only real randomness. Oh, you're going to hear us say the phrase RNG a lot too. That's a term used by speedrunners to refer to random elements in the game that are
Got mine too.
That are it's stuff outside the player's control that they just have to adapt to. And the only real RNG for the Mist Dragon battle is critical hits, I would say. But, so what they're doing now is they're going to be doing a glitch called the Mist Clip, and with that they're basically.
I think everybody got it, huh? Sorry.
No, I didn't. First try.
This is a glitch that involves using a tent and resetting in order to be able to enter the Village of Mist from the east side, which gets you access to the item shop way earlier than you're supposed to, so you can buy dancing daggers, which is a weapon you're not meant to have. And the way they can afford it too is that they did a glitch with Cecil's shield in the Mist Cave, which basically let them have almost an infinite number of them. So they're all rich right now.
Very much.
Some of us less rich
Very
than
gotta
others.
sell-
I still
they
glitch
gotta sell
Cecil
their
Shield.
stock
I
in
know
nothing.
Abda does Kane's.
Yeah.
Or Kane's weapon? I forget which one you do, Abda. It's one of Kane's
I
things.
sell a Kane's shield, the iron shield.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he gets about half the money that I do.
Yeah, with how many people are watching, there's going to be quite a few that have never seen this run before, so I'd like us to try to do kind of informative commentary as we go too.
My favorite thing about this glitch right here is that you can just walk past Radio's mom. Just
Yeah,
So
she's
she's
just sitting there.
sunbathing a little bit.
Yeah, she's just chilling.
Sunbathing.
Yeah. Just sunbathing. Isn't that the same sprite for the sunbathing person in like Troia, I think?
I think so.
You know, I haven't been
Yeah,
there in
it's-
so
I'm-
long. It very well could be.
Also, if anybody's wondering why Team 3 is called Team Waterfall, check the paste bin I have linked in the title. There's a certain YouTube video in there that explains one of the reasons why Team 3 is Team Waterfall.
Oh no,
Yeah,
there's
plays
way
the
more
double
than
fun for me.
that's the where the name come from. That's not everything though. There's way too much of Team Waterfall. Way too much.
There's me swinging at bad pitches in MLB, which we call waterfalls as well, so it works out beautifully for me. I love the team name.
Well,
All right, so it's very important to fist pump during this fight because swag.
Oh, God.
For sure.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I've just got an advantage. I forgot the fist bump.
But I'll fist pump since we have to.
dude, you got a
Now I
fist
feel
pump.
left
How
out.
else are you gonna know that you're happy that Radio's mother dies? I mean,
Exactly.
Because we burned a town down. I mean, that's a celebration event right there.
dude, you
According
got
to
guys
Sports
also have to
America, at
remember,
least.
Edge has to fist bump for his parents.
Oh,
That's the other one.
Now that we can do.
yeah, that should be an incentive.
Save 2 minutes on your run if Edge laughs at his parents dying. Oh, I gotta fight the last step. I hate when that happens.
Oh, don't talk to me. Last night when I was doing FF5, I had so many one-step encounters. Land triple, pick
Oh,
step, get battle. I'm like, really?
I feel you on that one, dude. I've had those nights.
That was me last night during our race. I had four
Yeah,
separate
last-
times where I got 3 one-step encounters in a row.
Didn't you have 36
yeah.
back attacks too?
I had 36 back attacks at Zeromus, yeah. Speaking of which, there's number 1.
Oh no. So here's a big random factor to our runs is how many back attacks each of us gets. Those take a lot of time.
Yeah, they're taking anywhere between 7 and 20 seconds, depending on how bad it is.
'Cause, yeah, one
Yeah,
thing
you
that
get back
one thing that
kills.
does vary a lot across Final Fantasy games is how big of a deal random encounters are as far as your speedrun time. And in 4, it isn't really that significant unless you get back attacked. Because if you're not back attacked, you can pretty much always run away before.
Or surprise attacked.
It's kind of
Same
it's pretty
thing.
similar in 5 for reasons we'll get into when we start 5. For 6, it's much different though. 6, especially for about the first hour 15 or so, the number of encounters you get affects you a lot, just because each character runs away individually instead of your whole party.
Fantastic.
There's nothing really much to this little mini boss here. Just chop up the soldiers and wait for the officer to run away.
Yep. Hit
All
them.
right, like we're at 2,700 people, and I know this is a bit polarizing,
Wow.
but come on, guys, call out the teams you're cheering for. I want to see Plexus chat. blow
Team
up.
Egg.
Call out your team.
Gotta cheer for Team Egg, which is Abda Jr. That's me.
Hey, waterfalls. All I'm saying.
Come on now.
Yeah. Why don't we do? Yeah, let's do a roll call too, quick, just so people can start recognizing our voices. I couldn't figure out a good way to put the Skype talking thing into the stream layout. So I'm Poexel.
All right, I'll go
I'm
first
hosting
then.
this whole thing, and I'm going to be running FF5 for Team Wyvern.
Oh man. Let's see. I'm Crumps 2. I'm running FF4 right now for Team Waterfall.
Abda Jr. for Team Egg.
I'm down for Team Ralse FF5.
And I'm LCC. I'll be running FF6 on Team Egg later.
We did
Is
Right.
Dusler
Yeah, we need to get
Run
egg
it.
counters going for when we get to the tower too. See which team gets the most
Deal.
eggs.
Deal. But Deuceler running Final Fantasy IV right now for Team Ralse as well.
Got Rain of
Oh,
Sun.
Magus
I'm
running
gonna be
FF4 for Team Wyvern.
yeah. Rain will be running FF5 for Waterfall. That'll be definitely a thing. If it has to take that, I take Coexel's 100% working grinding strat, prove it doesn't work 100%, and try to find another strat, and nothing works 100%.
Oh no.
Well, apparently Poexel's never gotten 120 damage on his fires, but apparently I have a 50-50 shot at that when I do it his way. Which means I have a
that
50-50
doesn't
shot
sound
at
good.
dropping butts, and Lena has a chance of not kneeling.
Yeah.
So the way I do it, I guarantee Lena will not die and she'll kneel, and then Butts has to make sure to hit himself to make sure he kneels because of the random damage. It's so great.
Yeah. Oh, another thing
See,
about
this is
the
why I'm
misclick-
excited for the other games is because even though I run Final Fantasy IV, I know nothing about 5 and 6. So sticking around to actually find out what the hell's going on is going to be pretty awesome.
Yeah. One thing about the missed clip glitch too is that they could have actually, they didn't actually even have to trigger the cutscene with Mist getting burned and going to Kaipo. It could have just come here because Tella would actually not be there if you haven't triggered the right cutscenes. But if you do this, then the game will crash when the cutscene of the bombing of Damsian is supposed to happen.
You
Yep,
can
when you go
actually
into fight
skip
Edward,
that
it actually
cutscene,
freezes.
but after you do it, it'll freeze, and you can't carry on beyond that.
No, it's when you go to fight Edward, the game will indefinitely soft lock because it removes everyone but Tella from your party. So it makes you sure you have no party, and the game freaks out when you do that. So
I never really thought about it that way. That's good reasoning for why it soft locks there. Now I get it.
Yeah. Learning something every day.
Hey, that's the way you gotta do
Another
it.
weird thing that happens. Another weird thing that happens during that fight is that, in particular, Cecil is unable to critical hit after that fight for a while because of the way they do it, until he becomes a paladin.
it's
really?
the game.
Is that right?
The game itself has this weird glitch with critical hits. If you are ever on the floor when the battle ends, or you're not present in a cutscene battle, you lose your ability to crit for the rest of the game. It's just that Paladin Cecil's a different one. So after Damison, Cecil loses his ability to crit until he becomes a Paladin, and then that lasts until he floor naps, or I forget when, but he will lose the ability to crit. And a lot of people lose the ability to crit pretty early. So that's why, like, this game, you don't see critical hits, like, ever past the intro.
I actually didn't know that. That's news to me. But I don't run those games, so you know.
Rain, you're gonna laugh at the safety save before the waterfall, but I had to do it just because of our team.
Dude, you realize that doesn't matter. If the waterfall gets you,
I did
your
it
whole
too.
things are gone. It's over.
Yeah, good
Has
point,
that
good
actually
point.
happened to anybody other than Rain though?
No.
It's never happened to me.
I don't think so.
Because the
I don't even know
the
that
thing
it
about the
actually
waterfall,
happened
if
to
you watch
Rain.
the video that's linked in the paste bin, is not only did it
Yeah, it
crash
wipes
his
it.
game, but it also deleted all of his save files too.
I didn't know
So
that.
good.
Yeah, I had save files, and then I didn't. And then I realized that I could never save a game, because then I don't have to see the file selection menu. I can just hit A to start and do runs that way. So I kept it that way until the next marathon, when I had to safety save.
The idea of doing safety saves, as Crump and I were discussing last night, is definitely it's a weird thing for me. I have to really consciously make sure to do them because I go out of my way to not save so much normally that it's kind of a weird thing for me to prepare for mentally, you know?
Yeah, because I mean, saving costs time. So when we're doing runs of these games and just trying to get the fastest possible time, I mean, we just play, and then if we die, it's over. So
Yep.
Saving
feels
in
really
order
weird
to
to be
avoid,
setting
in
saves.
order to avoid, in order to
Oh, I'm
ensure
so
you can
dumb.
finish your run is kind of a different route.
Yeah, in practice I kept
So that
forgetting to
rod
save.
on Optimam.
Yes, first round Rydia, get wrecked.
Ouch. Mine's only taken 1 damage yet. Give it time. Wow, tell us it.
I used my rod
good.
instead of my dancing dagger.
I don't mean to laugh.
I do. That's awesome. I forgot to put the tiara on Rydia too, though, so that's good.
Random silly fact about the Octoman fight in the Japanese version. While Tella has recall, Bolt 3 is not in his recall list, so you can't just try to cheese this fight out by having Tella remember Bolt 3
I mean, it's actually
randomly.
a pretty limited list of spells that Recall can give you, right? Like only maybe like 10 or so that he doesn't already have.
No, it's a pretty full list. There's just very few ones that he doesn't remember. And it's weird, if you get weak as a result of recall, he multicasts it. So he'll weak the whole enemy's side if he recalls it. But the chances of weak being recalled is so low, it's not even funny. But he has Fire 3 and Ice 3, but he doesn't have Bolt 3 in his recall list. Kind of funny.
Huh.
I think they figured out that if you could do that and just recall Bolt 3, Octoman would just instantly explode.
Probably. God, I
Oh, no,
cannot
it's the
keep
Red Wings and
Rydia
they're bombing.
alive.
Aw. Oh, man, am I glad that wasn't a surprise attack. 8 imps on the way into the castle. Whew.
Alright, Octomam's down.
Imps,
Perhaps you got a good run going.
Well, it was 8 of them. It would have taken forever. Over 3K, by the way,
Oh,
Poexel.
wow, yeah, I just saw that.
Very, very awesome.
We're not even at the 25-minute mark either.
Yeah, this only just began. We've only just begun.
Oh, that sultry voice.
Wow, tell us 2 for 2.
Spoony Bard times 4 coming up.
Mine already hit.
Incoming Spoony Bird.
Tell us 3 for 3. Oh, can he go 100%?
I
What?
am probably not going to get the Loath Rod again.
He went 4 for 4. Oh my god.
Wow.
I've never seen
Never
that.
seen that happen.
Spoony Bard
Accuracy
hype.
God.
Oh,
You
someone on
swindler.
someone on SDA forum had a great idea too of renaming the opera singing contest for FF6 to the Spooniest Bard.
I saw that. That's fantastic. Does anyone
I hate
else
to
have
say
a
it, I
back
think my
attack yet?
team's got...
Say again?
I don't think I've seen any, but
does-
the only thing I'm going to say is I think my team has a slight advantage in the Spooniest Bard competition.
Well, tool assistance is not allowed though, so MV can't
Still,
use his
MV,
yeah,
MV
special
it does
entries
make
for
music.
sound equipment.
Yeah, but he can't use delay, reverb, any of that. It's just his straight voice. That's it. So you're not going to get the, drama.
Though there
Quite
will
the
be
same.
drama, I'm sure, whenever MV.
Oh, yeah,
joins
but it
us,
won't be. Well, I'm saying, like, for the opera portion, I'm not singing, so I'm doing the drama portion. Let's put it that way.
Well, it'll be the middle of the night for him, so he has to be a bit quiet because of his neighbors. So it might not be quite as flamboyant as usual, but
Well, it'll be
sure he
morning
doesn't
in
care.
France, I think, when he gets. Well, it'll probably be like.
Yeah, it'll
3
probably
or
still
4
be
in the
evening.
morning or so.
maybe
for
like
him,
5
so-
in the mark.
Yeah.
Who knows, though?
Oh, Snatch is ready for the opera.
Are we also making sure Senshi doesn't get help from her little ones?
I didn't. Well, I said tool assistance is not allowed, but Mini Sentia assistance would be okay.
Oh, I see how it is.
I think we can wrap this one up early.
I guess
Yeah,
it
she's
depends
got a lot
on
of
if
time
getting
choreographed
getting her kids to sing in unison is worth 3 minutes to her.
I'm just going to keep throwing the word safety save out there every so often. That helps me remember, but I figure out what the heck it'll help everybody else too. I don't want to see anybody get in a bad spot like I've done to myself. Ask Abda.
Other thing I'm going to say right now is looking at team positions at the moment, it's really hard to like even call out that anyone's really behind. We're all in the same area, and literally there's the bigger luck portions of the run are yet to come. Especially the biggest luck ever.
Yeah, there is one thing that comes up about 3 hours in that can add or subtract minutes, just depending on luck, unless you're like the Japanese FF4 community and know how to manipulate encounters in this game.
Which you can kind of figure out when that fight is coming, but I'm terrible at it, so I could be sitting here for like 15 minutes trying to find the thing.
Yeah, apparently you can just get the pack order, and then you can tell about when it should show up in the maps. But I haven't gotten that far yet.
Alright, I had a really good antlion descent, so I'm at the boss now.
Mine's about dead. Also, how did Cecil get another attack?
Shout out to Antlion for having the best troll face in this game, by the way.
Yep.
Totally.
Giga guy levels of troll face.
Okay, how did Cecil get another attack in after Edward's second throw? Because Rydia never got her second attack in mine.
Rydia's really slow compared to Cecil.
I've never had that happen, though.
Only time
It's
I
always
was...
Rydia
okay,
before.
this is a side fact about the game. The game is actually early ATB prototype without the bars. But because of the way the game works, only 2 people's actions can relatively be stored. So the game actually functions like an ATB game when you have 3 party members or less, where people will rotate in and out, and their speed actually matters. For anyone else, once you have 4 or more, the game becomes a set pattern, because those, like, by the time you get the third person's action off, the fourth person's bar will have refilled in most situations, so you don't have a lot of people jumping the gun.
Oh wow, Elmagus and Abda are pretty much in perfect sync on my end.
Oh wow.
Nice.
The antlion kills were less than a second apart. Yeah, I mean that's stuff like because this is an early Super Nintendo game, so there's a lot of stuff in it that I mean that's why like FF4, PSP, and DS are just massively different from the original Super Nintendo version. Because like FF4 PSP is probably the most similar, but it still has some modernization, like being able to see your character's ATB or time gauges, being able to optimize your equipment, a dash button.
Oh, I'd kill for that.
So, Poexel, what is this other game you mentioned? I heard FF4 PSP, but I don't understand this other one. Can you please explain this game that does not exist?
My controller.
Rain does not like FF4 DS, and we'll leave it at that.
I wonder why.
Because it's not
hate
Final
it.
Fantasy IV. It's Final Fantasy IV Prime. It's Final Fantasy IV Subtext. It's Final Fantasy IV. We took the whole thing and screwed it up. Whatever you want to call it. It's not FF4.
Please, stream, please note that Rain does not reflect all of our opinions.
Yes. In no way
I do not
represents
reflect.
the relay.
I know reflect everyone's opinion, but like straight up, if you like FF4 DS, only thing I'm going to tell you is that game literally takes any pre-knowledge you have on the game and abuses it against you. So literally, it is like the game designers
it does do that.
intentionally going against everything the game was designed for, which is really annoying. Like playing that game and not grinding through it is probably the hardest thing ever. Whereas in this game, you could do it relatively easy up until Zeromus. In the other game, you couldn't even do it with like Zeromus realistically without knowing what augments to get all the time.
Hey, Cat, if you could not claw my guitar, that'd be awesome. Thanks. Sorry.
Just
Every now and then I have to
take
explain to
it.
my cat how not to do dumb things.
El Magus getting a little NPC trolling.
Yeah, there are some very
that's
specific NPCs in this game that can be massive jerks sometimes. Like a specific dwarf in the Dwarf Castle, I think is probably the worst.
Yeah.
Grandma.
That cost me 30 seconds.
No,
That's
I'm
all
sorry.
I-
That
Magus
NPC that got Magus is the one that got me in one run, and he kept going in and out of the house 7, 8 times for me. It was hilarious.
That was on your old
I don't
STA
know.
run too.
Battle of the Titans time.
Yeah, a lot of them are coming up to
Edward
yeah.
versus Waterhead.
Originally, Team Waterfall was going to be Team Waterhag, and because this battle right here is just so hilarious. Because, well, you're not really going to see it now because they have dancing daggers. But if they were doing a run of this game where they couldn't reset, also known as a single segment run, Edward would be level 1 still because he would have been killed by Antlion. And level 1 Edward versus this water hag means you can't actually die to this completely scripted storyline fight too if Edward misses.
I think
I'd
that
like
we've
to point
all
out I almost did
lost runs. We've all lost runs to that fight. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
I've lost a good majority of them, and I remember when people are like, "Dude, you can't lose that fight." I'm like, "Yes, you can. You can't lose it. No, you can
Yep.
lose that fight. You don't understand.
You can still lose
the
it, but
fight.
you have to get a lot less lucky.
I mean, this is scripted. You only have to hit the water hag 3 times. I mean, it does have an HP value, but it doesn't matter. I mean, I think its HP is.
There's no way
is
you can
massive
hit that
or something.
HP value in 3 hits. He only has 65,000 HP.
Nice.
You can
Just
So
get
you know, Steve,
just get Upco and use that.
except for you
Okay,
can't
that I'd
over
like to
because
see,
you
honestly.
kill yourself.
Yeah, like have Edward somehow be able to get Upco. That would be interesting.
Oops. I always
Oh,
forget to
MTI
safety
is,
save.
is scoring the water hag battles by how much HP Edward had at the end.
I just got
Apparently Team
cheaped
X
here
winning.
on this mountain. So many back attacks.
There's, yeah, there, I mean,
Safety
back
save, gets my
attacks
bottle,
are
kill me.
why no lead is one reason why no lead is really safe in this
Yeah.
game,
Yeah, I can
even before
switch
we
so
get to
often.
the level up battle in the giant Bibil.
Yeah, it's the difference between taking no time and taking like 10 seconds, so it does add up quite quickly.
Hey, Spaz, you cannot be on the controller right now. Let's give it a couple hours, buddy. Hi. Sorry.
I got my Bravely
So
Default
exactly-
Collector's Edition in the mail yesterday.
How? Can you not do that, Cat?
About 25 minutes after Iridia's hometown is burned down by fire, she gets over it.
Well, technically in the game,
Hey,
in
sometimes
game
you
time,
gotta
it's like
just
2
be
days.
strong.
Yeah.
That's one thing I'll ever comment about
my
this game
God.
is that Rydia is like the strongest character in this whole game.
This is so cheap.
More ways than one.
This game has given me like 4 back attacks in the last 2 minutes.
Alright. I'm at Yang.
And like that, because of that, Crumps, you've fallen behind Wyvern.
Yep.
Slightly.
Oh, I expect it.
What are the back
So
decks
it's
based
like-
on in this game, anyways? Is it just random? or
Random
is it actually
chance.
Yeah, they're completely random.
Random.
based- Yeah.
12. Ooh.
Do your thing, Yang.
Uh-oh.
You not, Cat?
Oh, come on,
Alright.
Yang. Why are you so bad at killing imps?
Yeah, as silly as it sounds,
Because-
there's
Aw.
randomness in this
I did
this
too.
imp battle too, just because the damage. One thing that's actually kind of unique about this game compared to the others is how how wide the randomness on the damage is when you attack, too. Like in this battle, the number of attacks that it takes for Yang to kill the imps, even though he's not under your control, will vary from run to run.
Mine
Very
just
true.
did.
Like a
He
lot
left
of
one
times in this
alive.
game. A lot of times in this game, it's all about damage counting and stuff to really figure out where you are in the fight, figure out what you need to do. Which on other games, you just kind of do it in a specific order and just know in advance it's going to happen most of the time. But in this, it's like you have to actually pay attention to exactly what damage you're getting. Not all the time, but a lot of the time you do.
I'm weird. I don't know. I
It
just
plays a
understand
role,
the pacing
too,
of this
though.
game.
It plays a role here too, how long the imp fight takes, because whatever damage the imps do to Yang, he carries over into the Mom Bomb battle. So like right now they just did 130 damage to me, and so I'm at 177 and I carry that over.
I'm sure there's a lot of people watching too that were like me and didn't realize until they saw speedruns that you don't actually have to attack the second form of Mom Bomb.
Yeah, she'll just
You
explode.
just wait for her to explode. Or explode.
Yeah. So for anyone who's like still under the illusion that the Japanese version's harder than the US version,
Yeah.
no, this battle is a joke in the Japanese version.
Yeah,
because
I mean,
once
a lot of
Bomb
people
Bomb
refer to the
explodes-
Japanese version as hard type because the enemies have more hit points in the Japanese version, but there's a lot of items and combat abilities and a couple spells that were taken out of the US version. So like the way this battle works is as soon as it splits up, you use an item called a silver or copper hourglass, depending on translation.
It's bronze, I think.
Okay,
Whatever. It's an
You
hourglass.
cast stop on all 6 of them, and then you win. Basically, there's zero risk at
Doesn't
all.
Cecil have like
Yeah,
a big
because-
target attack?
And
too?
Cecil has a dark wave attack, which you don't in the U.S. version you just see in the cutscene battle where after he becomes a paladin, but in the Japanese version you can actually use that. And it does good damage to all enemies, and it takes like 1/8 of his max HP or so, but that trivializes Mom Bomb and some of the Fabul battles too, to have that. I mean, we are playing the English version, so we're not going to go talk forever about version differences and stuff, but assuming we do this relay again, maybe we'll do FF4 Japanese or PSP or something.
Oh my god!
I just wanted to mention that here because this is the only like the one huge one that really is different, and it's like it's silly just because of the items. So, like, I won't mention it again. I just want to bring it up here because it literally takes this fight, which actually still is a literal threat, and makes it a joke.
Yeah, the version MTI mentioned in chat is Final Fantasy IV Easy Type. It was released only in Japan. But it basically they released the Japanese version, then they released Final Fantasy II US, and I guess kind of the rebuttal in Japan was to release Easy Type.
Yeah, Easy Type is even easier, quote unquote, than this, just because it gives you like more powerful weapons and items and stuff than the original version.
It also was the script was slightly rewritten in the Easy Type to be more intelligible for I guess less.
Also, Elmegas had me
less-
worried there for a second because you got, I think, 2 back attacks with just Cecil still alive after Mom Bomb.
Yes.
Oh, jeez. Didn't get any back attacks on my way over here, but I got a lot of fights.
It's okay. Your back attacks are coming with the eggs.
Yep.
Just so everybody in chat knows too, Abdo sold his soul to this game, so his luck is better than everybody else's always.
I would kind of beg to differ, given how some of his Calbrena battles have been going lately. But
Yeah.
Calbrena doesn't care for souls. It cares for victory.
Yeah, Calbrena cares not what you're doing.
I did like your idea for the next one of getting a vial of everyone's tears to go along with Calbrena dolls.
yeah.
I don't know. I wanted to adjust that because in every marathon I've done Calbrena, I haven't been killed by her yet. But in practice, she kills me all the time. Just only when it comes down to it am I able to do it.
Is that
cheap
is I
Edward
believe
damage and
everybody
the
said
charge.
that they're going for that too, so that'll be an interesting turning point to see what happens there.
Yeah, one thing I did to kind of add a little fun to this is some challenge incentives for each game, which are described in the paste bin that's in the stream title, and my bot spams every 30 minutes. For this game, well, each game has 3 of them. For this, it's to do what we call the direct or MLG airship landing. When you first get the airship and go to Troia, there's a 1-tile wide landing zone you need to hit, and the challenge is to hit that without stopping the airship, basically. Because in all 3 of these games, the airship is very fast. So actually lining up a 1-tile position on the map is actually not easy. Then we have fighting Calbrena, because you'll see when we get there, but ordinarily, well, the battle starts with 6 dolls, and you can actually kill all 6 of them before they get a chance to merge into the big doll, and that's what you'd normally go for in speedrun because it's faster. But if they kill the big doll, that's worth I think it's 3 minutes, and then the third one's with the final boss, Zeromus, and that's well that would take a while to explain, so we'll save that until we get there.
Yeah.
And my Edward's hiding already.
Awesome.
Oh wow, that's great.
Edward, that is the worst mechanic they ever put into this game. Was, if people don't
It is
know,
so
when Edward
lame.
gets down below a certain HP, he automatically hides in the battle, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Oh, sorry. mine just hiding now, too.
Welcome to my world. Oh, man, my damage is horrible. I just had to do full 2 rounds on the gargoyle. Like 4 hits.
Beautiful.
Wow.
Had 3 hits, yeah.
Beautiful.
Like
That's
6
painful.
level.
I'll be waiting for the one guy to not do the incentives and smile as everyone else fails.
Keep showing.
I was
told you I
gonna
was gonna
be
do
that
Calbrena.
guy. I was
I
planning
decided
on
not to.
doing incentives, but I've been practicing them, and I decided it'd be stupid to not do them.
Like, I think like the X Death incentive might be overly incentivized, but that's my opinion.
Well,
I'm in a strong
I made it
debate
kind of
in my
high just
head on
because
going
it takes
for it.
about 2.5 minutes to actually fight him.
And then there's about another extra minute of setup, I guess, to do the to make sure you're good for it.
Well, you only need 2 extra items, at least in my route, to fight Neo, but yeah, there is a bit more menuing before the final boss for fighting Neo.
Well, I'm including like the steps to get those items and the menuing.
Oh,
Because
Oh, I'm
Yang
still in
not
trouble.
killing imp captains. Yang needs to die.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, these
Cecil's down.
fallable
Oh, no.
battles can be a
Oh,
source
no.
of pain too, if
Oh no.
depending on damage.
What's going on,
Oh, no.
Crumbs?
Oh no.
You saved, right?
Uh-oh.
Yes.
Shit.
This might come down to Edward. No, okay, we're good. I think. Okay, yeah, we're good. If Yang doesn't kill him, though, we're. Oh no
Uh-oh.
no 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 no! Stop hitting him! No 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 no! Stop stop stop! Okay, good. Whew. 53 and 2
Hey,
health
Crump.
left. That's it. Yes.
Crumps, rule of thumb for
Yes.
Team Waterfall: don't talk about what goes wrong. It will. You're like, just don't tell it. The game's listening because you're on Team Waterfall. It's like, as long as he doesn't do X, Y, and
It
Z,
knows.
I can live. Because then you'll get X, Y, and Z perfectly every time.
Yeah, because I mean, all these fallable battles you have to fight back to back without having any kind of healing time in between. Looks like Elmega's just reset.
What happened?
Oh damn.
I died. 60-60.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh, dude. That's
Sorry,
Fable
dude,
for you.
that's-
Yeah,
Right
it
there.
happens. I mean,
Oh,
with 4
That's brutal.
people, with 4 different people playing, you'll probably see the full spectrum of what can go really well and what can go horrible in this game.
I just
For
want to
sure.
state that when I was running in this game, this was the biggest sweat point for me because Fabul is the scariest thing in the world.
It is.
Yeah.
It
Once
just
we
comes
had-
down to
once
holding
we got
A
dancing
and
daggers.
hoping.
Yeah. Oh, Fobble and the
Once we had
Japanese
with
version,
dancing
nothing
daggers,
too,
it's
by
so
the way,
much
both because you
easier,
have Dark
but-
Wave and you have combat items that can win most of the battles a lot faster than you can in the US version.
I'm just surprised you
Fireball
guys didn't
hype.
detour for a single Cure 1. There's that one in the first cave that's like 2 steps out of the way.
That is
But
way
messes
too
up your
In
menu.
Crump's stream, if there's anybody that's a mod, I could really use one, honestly. So if there's a mod for Crump's stream hanging around, could use your help.
Yeah, so one thing that can go wrong with this is Edward getting into critical health, because Edward is a coward and automatically hides if he goes into critical health. And with the dancing, Edward is the only character you have here that can use dancing daggers, which can one-shot any of the monsters here. So if he gets put into critical, then that really, really hurts, both as far as just being able to win at all, and also how fast you can kill the enemies too.
See, I had good luck there, and he didn't go into critical until the last battle, and I actually got the dancing dagger off before he went into hiding, so I kept him for every fight. Which, that's the first time that's happened to me. Still, he normally goes into critical relatively soon. It seems like it's a luck thing, but more often than not.
I mean, the ideal situation is that Cecil dirt naps and Fobble first. That's the ideal situation.
Yeah, if
Since
somebody,
he's not gonna
well,
get any
ideally
benefit
nobody
from
does,
anything.
but
Well, I'm just saying, if you have to have someone dirt nap, it should hopefully be Cecil.
right, it might as well be Cecil, yeah.
I would just admit that one of the things that may be artificially skewing the results too is buffering, because like I said, Crump's just buffered on my end, but it wasn't enough to make my player resync with the stream.
Yeah, if it takes like 5 seconds of resyncing time, it'll usually like up it to wherever it's actually at. Like I
On a
just
boat.
left Fable.
Yeah, so obviously I'll need a bit of warning before any of you is ready to stop the timer, just because it will be, especially when I'm playing FF5 too.
Mhm.
Yeah, you'll hear me yelling most likely at Zeromus or somebody to do damage to Zeromus, so you'll know with me.
Yes.
All right.
If
looks like I'm
nobody's
ahead.
heard Crumps's butt clenching moments either, they're epic. They're definitely a thing to listen for.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
have,
if you hear a very
I have an
out-of-tune
especially
deep
new
voice, it's me.
appreciation for the CPU boss battle after watching Crumps fight it too.
You'll hear me yell at Rosa during that. I guarantee you guys will hear me yell at Rosa to throw that white spell as fast as possible.
Oh my god. Throw it! Throw it! I guess the best way for me describing Crump's little outburst is what's going on inside a child's head when they really have to pee but they can't get to the bathroom. That's like what Crump's is saying.
But I have to go now.
4,000 viewers, awesome.
So yeah, so unfortunately,
Oh, yeah.
unfortunately, Team Wyburn is a bit behind now because of randomness. But all that can all change when we get to the Giant of Babel. It's anybody's
for
Oh yeah,
sure.
so much. So
And
much.
there's
can go
plenty of
wrong.
stuff
The
before
big
that
three
too,
of
but that's by far the
Turkey.
most biggest random element in this run with how we're playing.
Calbrena, if we're all going for it, can
Calbrena
definitely change things.
Golbez fight is going to be huge because that'll, depending on what happens in the Golbez fight. Yesterday, for example, when Crumps and I did it, Cecil was the only one that stayed alive, so he got a bunch of levels and it threw off the turn order for my D-Machine fight. So there's a lot of implications in that fight that could change the time as well.
Yeah, when we get to the level up fight, we'll explain that, but it's very specific the way you want it to go. And if it doesn't, oh man, does it get interesting.
Yeah, because I mean, one really interesting thing about routing RPGs and Final Fantasies in particular is figuring out when you actually need to level up and when you don't. Because one thing that's for the 3 games we're running today, only in FF4 do you actually get experience points from bosses. In 5 and 6, you don't.
Stop.
So
You cannot move the microphone.
for most of this run, well, actually, basically all of it until they get to the Giant of Babil, they can use strats that let them play just based on the levels they naturally reach from boss kills. But it's unfortunately not possible to actually kill Zeromus, the final boss, at your initial levels. You'll just get wiped by the first big bang that he does. So you do need to do some grinding.
Technically, it's possible to beat him, but you'd have to be godlike with your jump strats.
Oh, you have to jump each big bang, basically.
Yep.
Oh god, no thanks.
And that would take a long time as well.
Oh, and here's the best part. You have to jump each big bang, and when he starts casting the spells after it, you have to jump those spells. You have to be in the air still while those spells are
the
going off.
nukes.
And I bought 99 Cure 1s on accident
Yeah.
because I
Oh,
spammed
if anybody's
buttons too
just tuning
fast.
in and is wondering how they've got like 65, what is that, like
Yeah.
650,000?
6.5 mil.
6.5 million
65 mil.
gold.
Yeah.
They did what's called an underflow glitch at the start of the run, which let them sell pretty much basically an infinite number of shadow shields in order to get all that money. So not only did they burn down the village of Mist, but they also robbed them blind too from their item shop.
We used to steal
sure.
from the city a second time.
Yeah, the basic
Alright,
idea
I'd like
is
to
that
like
more
10
natural.
knives. We're not gonna.
you
we're
can't
not
get
gonna
less than
burn
0.
that.
And
You gotta love
value.
that little cliche with RPGs that every shop in the whole world has an unlimited supply of items on hand and an unlimited amount of money too. Ooh, looks like,
Like,
we just
why
hit
is the shop still open?
We just hit 4,000 viewers too.
Nice.
Crazy.
Spaz,
Thank you guys for hanging out.
Yeah. Make sure to follow all of the runners' individual Twitch channels too. You'll see my bot spam that every 45 minutes.
Stop.
Yeah, basically underflowing is the game can't actually do a negative value, so it just goes to its maximum value if you go below 0. So that's what it gets so much.
Yeah, you'll be seeing that in 5 too. There's lots of older RPGs that let you trick the game into having a negative value, and since it's not programmed to handle that, it actually wraps around and gives you the highest possible value instead.
Well, as a funny aside, if you were watching when they actually did the glitch, a lot of them didn't pull a shield out of it, but because you get 0 of something, if you pull out, you only sell 255, so you don't get as much money, but you can keep the original item. If you don't, when it goes to sell, because there's 0, it loops and stacks up the sell counter to the maximum value it can, and thus it like literally it sells like 65,000 copies of whatever you're selling, and so that's why there's such a huge amount of gil you get from it. I'm pretty sure it overflows the gil at some point, so that's why some items that are really expensive end up giving you slightly less money because it overflowed too much.
We were getting bets in bison dollars now for teams.
Right now, Team Egg's in the lead from what I can tell.
Awesome.
Yeah, I'm doing alright.
Yeah, I'd say Crumps and Deuce are
Yeah,
pretty close.
I got pretty lucky in Fabul there. I got to keep Edward, so I definitely made up some time.
Yeah. Yeah,
keep
Waterfall
hitting
and
back attacks.
Ralse are basically tied on my end, although there's buffering and stuff.
But
You're
like we
pretty
said
up to date on
before,
that.
you probably see multiple lead changes. If there's one lapse in execution from any of us during a boss battle, or if there's some RNG that kind of bites us, then you can, even if somebody gets 2 to 3 minutes behind, don't count them out, because you can ask Abda, even if you're 40 minutes ahead in a run, you can still lose.
Cough, cough. You can ask me too. Cough, cough.
That wasn't a direct
Not
shot
planning
fired
on that
at
happening.
Abda, but it's just we've all been in situations where you're 10 minutes ahead of a run or whatever, and it
Yeah, it goes right out the window. Wow, I've gotten back attacked and I only lost 6 health on one of the twins. I don't even have to bother healing. Handy.
Soul back attack. So back attacks are especially bad when the enemies use magic because it takes forever.
Yeah, that fire one. I've been hit like 3 of those back attacks where 2 of them hit me with it.
Roll over and die.
Now, don't you want to like gain some levels on the way up, like you fight like a Redbone Lilith fight, is it?
You can.
Yeah,
would
there
be,
is
but,
a
like, I skip
possibility to level up with Lilith and Redbone so that you can get Fire Spell, which makes the Milan Z fight a little bit quicker, but is it worth it? I guess it's still debatable by some people, and it's a random encounter anyway, so you'd have to...
Yeah.
If you're get into it prior to having Tella, you can just do a Lilith fight, but if you do it after Tella, it has to be a Lilith and 2 Redbones.
Or 2 Liliths.
Or 2 Liliths, yeah.
Wait, what the hell am I doing? Yeah, okay, I did that right. Jesus. I am out of it today. Spaz, get away from playing with the microphone, dude. For the love of God.
Spaz is Crumps' cat.
He's knocked the microphone
probably.
feet away from me already. So I just backwalked there because I had to kick my cat away.
Abda just made me cry.
Yeah, for
He ran through
those
2
wondering,
Liliths.
I just got attacked too. Maybe I'll kill him. I'll go for it. Let's do it. Ugh.
Double flare.
Yeah, for so for the Mylon or Scarmiglione, if you prefer the correct name, battles, a random element here too is which twin spell you get, because if you use flare, the damage gets distributed across all of the enemies, and if you get comet, it does the same damage to all of them, and single targeting flare does a lot more damage than comet because of the split effect. So you really want to get flares on both forms of Mylon.
Yeah, you
So
want
I
to
did
know
just level
because
up.
the way we do it.
Jeez, Abda, let the guys catch up.
Yeah, the luck.
Oh, we're coming up
Yeah,
on
it's
one
like-
of the
it's like
best.
double
We're coming up
RPG.
on one of the best lines in
behind.
the game, by the way, too.
Fall flat.
Yeah, it's both
into
damage
the deep
RNG and the actual
ravine.
comp.
I did level
Poison.
up the twins as well, so
Sorry.
I will be getting the fire spell early for the Milan Z fight.
Relative of Franker Z.
Still waiting for like an undead looking Franker Z face to show up and as a sub icon for somebody.
Well, didn't Abda just get partnered? Done deal. Just make a Milan Z.
Pardon my French. Mylon's being a troll and just killed Porum. Regular Mylon is being a troll. Cat, get away from the microphone.
Oh, well.
I like how my cat right now is huddled around all of my controllers, and he's just glaring at me. He's like, I know what I'm going to do. I know what I'm doing. So my cat's totally going to do something.
For
Yeah, if people hear a weird breathing noise, that's probably me breathing through my nose. I have no pop filter on my mic.
yeah, one random element with the Mylon Z battle too is getting poisoned, because getting the message that pops up that says damaged by poison lasts for way too long, even if you have the battle message speed maxed out.
Which we do.
So Abda actually has a pretty solid run going so far too, because killing Mylon Z around the hour mark is a pretty good time.
Yeah, ideally you want to be
Elsewhere.
about 59 minutes and 59 and a half minutes or so. But anything between that and an hour and a minute is pretty damn good. Pretty good.
Oh, Cecil's gonna eat this. Oh man, Cecil's gonna die. Jeez. This is not good.
I got
had a
two
really
flares
nice-
in a row. That's hype.
pretty good. Mylon fight.
Mine started troll so far.
I do
least I
have
got
fire
flares.
2 now, so my fight should be a little bit quicker.
We're getting hyped for
Ow.
Raincat
And,
and FF5 too now. I see which cat trolls the runner more, Spaz or Raincat.
Does MV have a cat? If not,
I think he wants
friend
he
to
wants
go
one.
and get a cat.
He was talking in
House.
Skype the other day about how he wants one.
He obviously needs to go get a
Ugh.
cat before he runs, so we can have optimal cat trolling.
Horrible Mylon time for me at just shy of 103. Excuse me.
Use that water.
Spaz, get out of the computer cables now. My cat is going to wind up resetting this run on me. He
That
is
would be
trying
bad. That would
actively
be
to go
not
after the
great.
power cable on my Super Nintendo right now.
Comet hype.
Might I suggest, while you're transforming into a paladin, quickly remove the cat.
Yeah, no way to do that.
Yeah, the cat is immunity to promise, I guess.
I have no way to lock him in another room, so... Otherwise, believe me, I would, because he knows what he's doing. He trolls at the perfect times.
Comment.
I'm trying to think of where I should, if I want to save it before doing all this stuff in Baron. So it's not really a good place to do it. I guess just right before Mysidia.
Someone's already calling the banquet soft lock for Mr. MV too.
That's why I'm saving before it. I've been scared of
Is
that
it
for
the lock
months.
lock?
Never happened in a run yet.
Oh, and if I was using a Game Genie, I would be going a lot faster. I would kill Octomam with Medio.
That may or may not be overkill.
It's exactly the right number of kill, I'm pretty sure.
And I saw the question again. Now we're all playing on legit Super Nintendos.
Yeah, all the 4 and 6 runners play on Super Nintendo, and then all the 5 runners except me are going to play on emulator, just because the version of 5 that we're playing is the Japanese Super Famicom version with an English patch. That's the version we prefer, just because it has the fastest loading times and it has some glitches that are useful for speedrunning.
And it lets people read what we're doing in the game. Well, I think the biggest thing is so that your viewers can actually see what we're doing instead of going, "It's all moon speak."
or it's all loading swirls. As hype as actually having wyverns in the relay would be.
Yeah.
Oh, and I guess we didn't really mention this too, but a mechanic that's in all 5, in pretty much every Final Fantasy 2, Final Fantasy after 4, is being able to damage undead enemies by using healing items or spells on them. Like, during the first Mylon battle, they were able to one-shot the zombies by using high potions on them. Some of the games you can insta-kill undead by using revival items or elixirs too.
After super
Yeah, some of the other versions you killed Mylon with an elixir or something, if I'm not mistaken.
It's very disappointing to see Siren in Final Fantasy V not being killed by a Phoenix Down.
Yeah. Sadly, letting her become undead would probably result. You might die before you get to that point, depending on what she does.
Haste, bolt, ice,
She's
hype.
quite strong in that form.
Yeah, you don't
Yeah.
really have any
It's
way
not-
to protect yourself from her attacks too if she goes undead. So if you miss with the Phoenix down, then you're in a world of hurt. Fortunately, there is an obligatory undead boss in the second world, though.
Oh, controller, what are you doing? What are you? Why is that going right? No more of that.
Is there a time penalty for
It's
not
now
suplexing the train?
There probably should be, or at least trying to suplex
Yeah.
the train. I mean, you can equip the right
The
cape
time
in order to
penalty
avoid
is we
getting
don't count your
inked.
run.
Yeah, I usually equip the white cape whenever you switch the battle speed back to 6 again, just so you don't counter in the middle of battle. So
Of course, maybe I'm expecting Dream Bomb to suplex himself again, though.
yeah. If anyone does that, they should get a bonus. too.
Yeah, if Sabin suplexes himself for any of the 6 runners, I think I'm gonna have to give them a sympathy bonus. And a viewer entertainment bonus, too.
What about if you get back
Suplex is
attacked
best
and
flex.
it's surprise attacked right after you leave Milan? Does that count?
Sure.
You get surprise attacked by 7 zombies.
Yeah, Abda and Team Egg is still out in the lead at the moment. Looks like Waterfall second, Ralse third, and then really close behind is Wyvern.
T-Meg hype.
Yeah, we're gonna need some help
Oh, yeah,
from the
sure.
chat to keep track of egg battles, too, when they get to the Tower of Babel. And the Cave of Eblon, too.
Team GGE.
It isn't an official incentive, but we're gonna need to have at least an honorary title or something like that for which team gets the most eggs.
Wow.
If it's not my team, I'm gonna be very mad.
Yeah.
It's only fitting.
I'll have to change my team, man.
Team maybe Egg? Whoa, Ghost Lady. I got a weird spot on her.
You guys may want to think about safety saving outside, prior, and post Dark Elf fight, because I got trolled by a back attack in the Tower of Zot yesterday that was Crump saw. I had like 400 HP with everybody and went through 2 full rounds and got one-shotted.
Yeah, he had
Yeah,
no chance to
that's
attack.
good.
It was stupid.
And I lost like 15 minutes off that because I had to do the Dark Elf fight again.
The Tower of Zod is kind of bad because
It's a
there's enemies in
little
the
bit
Tower
troll,
of
yeah.
Zod that can attack you even if you're regular attacked
Right.
because they're just that much faster than you.
So, do we have a pink tail incentive?
Plus 5.
Yeah, we
get
call
it.
you crazy. We
Just
call you
automatically
absolutely
get it.
crazy.
Yeah, but you have to have it in your inventory. I've been beating this game since I was, you know, a kid. I got it when it came out, but I've beaten it casually over 30 times prior to speedrunning it, and I've never gotten a pink tail in this version of the game.
I mean, is that a 1/64 drop, along with finding the battle in the first place?
It's 1/64
really
drop with a 1/64 encounter rate.
Nice.
God. Brutal.
Is that this? I mean,
Whoa,
is it 1/64 for the rare summons too? Just because I haven't played this game quite that many times, but I've never seen a rare summon.
Yeah, it seems right, and I have gotten a few.
I've gotten a few of them on the screen. Like right when you first leave Baron, I've gotten 2 of them there before, and that's the only ones that I've ever gotten.
I've gotten Imp, I've gotten Arachnid, I've gotten, there's a butterfly one that I can't think of a name of right outside Kaipo.
Yep. Oh, Dan Show's here. Shoutouts to Dan Show.
Back attacks, go away. God, at least hit the right people. Kill, like, we want the twins dead here, and they never get hit if you get back attacked, I swear.
You guys might notice differences here as well in this fight with the guards that are with Yang. I know that El Magus and I use Virus as a spell to kill him, and I think Crumps and Abda use Ice 3, which just... I think there's probably debate as to which is faster, but it kills them either way.
If anything, it's like a few frames.
Yeah, one thing about this game that's different than the other two is that it's old enough that there's no memory cursor, too. Because that's something that plays into the strats a lot for FF games after this one, too, is positioning your memory cursor so that you can just hold your OK button to queue actions as quickly as possible if you're repeating. But since this game doesn't have that, you do have to select it each time or decide to spend menuing time repositioning your stuff too, which I think some of them do for the level up fight to put weak at the top of the list.
Not me personally.
Yeah, I don't know if anybody really does that. The MP underflow hasn't been explained yet.
Oh yeah, we should.
And I'm just doing it.
And we're coming up to it right now.
Yeah, well, let's let Abda kill Bike. Oh wait, how did he cast Meteor? What? Wait, Tella, don't do it! Don't do it! It'll kill you. Oh, he's okay. Okay.
Yes. Oh, NPC troll.
So yeah, Crumps is doing it right now on my end too. What he's doing is he's tricking the game into letting him cast Cure 4 when he doesn't actually have enough MP to do it. So now, because of that underflow mechanic we were talking about about how the game isn't programmed to be able to handle negative values, it's actually wrapping Tella's MP around to the highest possible value that piece of memory in the game can handle, which is about 65,000. And that gets represented on the screen by, as I call it, box corner 06 MP, because it looks like a J, but that's actually the corner of one of the text boxes in this game. That's the first character of Tella's
really
MP.
Cool, you call it Boomerang.
It's commonly, we call it Boomerang. The people that actually run the game do.
Yeah,
anyway.
so Tella has basically infinite MP now, but he can only use it during battles. You can't. While Tella's MP is glitched out like this, he can't cast any spells from the regular menu, which matters in one place because you can't cast exit if in that situation. But doing it this way, Tella is able to cast Meteor when he's not ever supposed to be able to, because his MP normally gets capped at 90 for the whole time he's with you.
Both of my twins just got one shot at the beginning.
Or Cognazo, or however you want to call him. It's better to cast Bolt 3 than it is Meteor. Meteor has a really long cast time, and Bolt 3 has a very high damage potential with a shorter cast time. So you don't want to waste time waiting on Meteor to come. So don't always overkill with the best spell you have. It wastes time.
This is true.
Yep.
Yeah, animation time and cast time. I play into that quite a bit. For sure.
For most spells in this game, cast times are relatively short. It's Meteo and White have the longest cast times. I think Meteo is like 8 or 10 seconds, and White is like 3 or so. So, like, the fact is you really don't want to be spamming Meteo, because that will literally just eat turns.
While effective, exactly, it eats a ton of turns for you.
So that's Meteo's used on bosses where you can't one-shot them with any other spell, or they have some sort of reflect mechanic, because Meteo bypasses that.
Shit, it's kind of risky. I don't like this. I don't like this. I don't like this at all. Don't kill him, don't kill him, don't kill him, don't kill him. You killed him, you're an ass. I hate you, Kinaza. I hate you so much.
There's a reason I always use a high potion on Tella after the first waterfall wave.
I didn't even get a chance to. He hit him and then waved him instantly.
Really? Ooh.
Yep. I didn't even get a chance.
Ooh, somebody in chat figured out how to do a box corner in ASCII for
Nice.
describing Tella's MP.
That's super awesome.
Don't you do it. Tella today. Tella today. You. Don't you do this again. Oh my god, don't you do this again. Thank you. God.
So this is the
was
titular
rolling
waterfall
downhill
then,
real
I guess,
fast.
now for for Team Waterfall.
Yeah, no, that was going bad real fast, but we're good now. Woo! Troll
So
times
once
in the
again-
city.
So Crumps, once again, as I told you, don't tell the game what to do to screw you. It will do it. If you need me to show up
Yeah,
and
but
remind
down,
you, I
right?
can.
In my run, I'm only plus 1.7 seconds off my record right now.
Wow.
Damn. That's pretty good.
So I'm doing pretty good.
How many safety
Whatever,
saves?
Abda.
I guess if anybody
How many
sets a new
safety
record,
saves? Like
sets a new
7
world
so far?
record during this relay,
Wow.
yay.
Yeah, yay?
Probably not gonna happen.
Like,
We're
I think
coming
you're
up
going to
on
have a
the
large enough
Troia
advantage at that point anyways.
Landing here.
I'm thinking FF6 has some possibility. There's a lot of hungry FF6 runners in that thing, but
Saves will
FF4,
make a
maybe
deal.
not.
FF4 has a lot of RNG elements to it, especially going with like the Calbrena fight. Things like that will, they aren't huge time losses, and I think it's potential to be able to, for people to PB and stuff like that, but there's just a lot of randomness that in a situation like this, basically any race that you're doing, it's going to be difficult,
Alright, coming up on the
Not
Troia.
saying it's
I
not
thought you were going to say
impossible,
that.
I can get it.
I thought you said, you can't do Calbrena and get the world record. I'd be like, I can prove you wrong
Oh,
with
no,
that
you-
statement.
You definitely can, but it's just another thing that you're throwing in that takes a little bit longer.
Alright. No spoilers
God.
about the MLG airship landing. We'll let the chat see it for themselves. So Abda's about to try for it. So they're all going to try to land the airship on the one-tile landing zone next to Troia without stopping to adjust their position, which is really difficult with how fast the airships move.
impossible.
Yeah,
these games.
it's luck. It's sheer dumb luck, honestly.
I didn't get it.
Yeah, the only person I've seen do it that isn't
It's
in,
not gonna happen.
the only person I've seen do it in Final Fantasy 4 or 5, I think, is Del.
I think I've seen.
it's run.
I think
could
I've
do-
seen at least one person get it in 4 or 2 in practice.
Well, I
I've
can
gotten-
do
I got it
the
in
I can do
Rise
the
before.
Troia landing in 4 pretty easily. Like I got
Yeah,
it,
I get it
but
like
I'm used to
40%
coming from Mist, so I don't know if I could do it coming from Baron right away. But I used to be able to do it coming from Mist all the time.
It's not too hard. You can find a spot to line up.
Yeah, I'm just worried about FF5. There's no way I'm landing that thing in Crescent. There's just no way.
Yeah, I think the FF5 airship is actually faster than the FF4 one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah, I'd agree.
With my mechanical keyboard feathering, trying to get one tile movement, I couldn't. I could not get one tile movement with my keyboard. With the mechanical keyboard feathering that input, it's like, this is horrible.
Oh, looks like Elmagus and
At least they got a goal
Team Wyburn and Team Ralse are now tied.
Yeah, I've gotten 8 back attacks already. I've been getting kind of.
I was wondering how
I'm up there.
Elmagus gained so much time on you because I didn't see you reset or anything. But again, there are a lot of random elements in all 3 of these games, so no lead is ever going to be safe. Much. I mean, even when they get to the Kafka battle, messing up Joker Doom can, yeah.
Honestly, this is going to be something, because no matter how little bit ahead you get over the whole course, it's all going to come down to the little bits of incentives and the total luck of everyone. So it's not going to be just.
If anyone else gets the Troia landing, I mean, that's going to be. Well, how much is it? 2 minutes? 3 minutes?
1 minute.
1 minute.
The Troia landing is 1
1 minute,
minute, and then
even so, that's like a lot of
Calbrena
time.
is 3 minutes. You know, so 3 minutes is a big chunk there. And that
Coming up on
Zeromus
mine,
one
by the way.
shot. I don't know who's going for that, but
It depends on my damage. If I am counting it, and if I know that I have a good chance of killing him, I'll go for it, but it's risky.
If
Yeah,
you're
coming
under
up,
6K, you're for sure. Outside of that, you're risking it on the Zeromus hit.
Yep. You're
Yeah,
not for
coming up
sure.
is
I actually hit him
the,
for 5,600 last night.
You have bad
So,
equipment on your Rydia then.
No, it's perfectly fine equipment. She just hit for 5,600.
Oh, I am.
Do you use Opta's setup or mine? Because I
Opta's.
super. I used.
Yeah.
I have a higher intelligence setup for Rydia. That's why I don't have go under 6,000.
What do you equip her with?
Opta, I think, takes a little more defensive on her gear. I don't, because she's meant to die every time he big bangs. I think Opta tries to save her. There's a little bit of difference, and it's like it makes her damage very higher. So there's a higher minimum and a higher maximum with that. So, but that's mine, and I mean, whatever works for you works for you. But I know my thing is if it wasn't under 6K, it was a risk to try it.
So the back attacks have have a little interesting spin in the Dark Elf's cave too, just because the gimmick here is that if you have metal equipment on, you are automatically paralyzed for all battles. So the only character that isn't paralyzed is Sid, actually. So if you get it, the worst back attack you can get is 2 mages, also known as mind flayers, I think, in later translations, because they have a paralysis attack, and if they paralyze Sid, you lose. I mean, you don't game over instantly like you would in like FF9 if your whole party gets held, but it does make you waste a lot of time because you have to wait for Sid to get unparalyzed before you can run away.
Yeah, however, if you put the Iron Glove on it for the boss fight, it makes it faster.
All right, so we're currently 0 for 4 on MLG airship landings. Let's see about Elmagus and Dusler.
I just barely missed mine too. Second time in a row I've hit the same water portion. Go figure, Team Waterfall landed in the water.
Of course.
I thought that was fitting somehow. I land in the river. Great.
Trolled by the H2O.
Take me to the river, drop me in the water.
Yeah. We can do a quick roll call, I guess. It's been a while.
Yeah.
Hey,
So,
shout out
I'm
to
LCC.
5K viewers too.
Nice.
I'll be running
Nice.
Final Fantasy 6 later.
I'm Poexel.
I'm
I'm going
Crumbs
to be
too.
running FF5, and I'm hosting this whole thing too.
Didn't mean to interrupt you there. I'm Crumbs too. I'm running Final Fantasy 4 right now for Waterfall.
I'm the
Ooh,
junior
Elmagus.
for Team Egg. We're playing Final Fantasy 4.
Eggs.
I'm a Dusler running Final Fantasy 4 right now for Team Ralse.
Elmagus, I'm running Final Fantasy IV for Team Wyburn.
If anyone If anyone's wondering what a wyvern is, by the way, that's how the PlayStation 1 version of Final Fantasy V translates the enemy wyvern, or wyvern. It's a wyvern instead.
I always thought that was
So
kind of funny when I got
Elmegus,
that
you
first.
You got the landing, what I saw there.
Yeah, I did.
Oh,
that'd
Elmegus
be
got
awesome.
it?
You got it?
Yeah.
Nice.
Our first incentive.
So he's behind still, but you get that, so that's an automatic minute taken off. It's a
Yeah.
pretty big deal.
Did you get it, Dusler?
It's basically right up with me.
Did Dusler get it? I wasn't watching.
I did not. I missed it by a block into the woods.
Oh no, the worst surprise attack. No. Well, the second worst. This one just takes forever.
You know, there's also an element here that some people may not mention is the chocotrol in this forest up here. You have to get a black chocobo, and I've seen certain people running the game take over 2 minutes to get it, and it's a random element that we haven't really figured out yet. But you'll see the black chocobos running around in circles, and sometimes you just can't grab them. Or the white chocobo comes in and all it does is refill your MP for you. But yeah, it can be difficult to grab a black chocobo in this forest.
Which thankfully I got mine right away for once.
Yeah, mine didn't take too
And you're welcome, Sale.
Ooh, that was like the fastest yellow chocobo grab
Wow,
ever.
that
Make
bad
sure.
battle. I
Watch that.
forgot how bad that battle is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I mean, one thing that factors into speedrunning RPGs in a lot of cases too is just animation time too, that you have to plan around trying to minimize.
Yeah,
Time for my
definitely check out my
derp
yellow
if I play
chocobo
them.
grab on my way out.
Due to an issue with their private airship, Team Gato is unfortunately unable.
Ooh, lucky.
See if I can get my lucky dark elf kill like I did yesterday. I one rounded him, which is so
Nice.
rare. Excuse me.
You guys have been running Die Hard too much. There's people haven't even seen a regular run of this game before.
Yeah, they're asking in chat if
this time.
Chocobo going in the wrong direction will affect this run. So I'm like, nope, no, it won't.
Yeah, it doesn't matter here.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I personally don't really like calling it Die Hard much anymore, just because that I think that reference is getting a little dated, and you always, if you say that, then you then have to immediately explain why it's called Die Hard to people that didn't watch AGDQ 2013. But basically, that's a completely different run, at least at, the second half of it, because you're using a glitch called the 64 room glitch that lets you, in the end, skip half the game and kill the final boss without actually having to fight him.
Tella failed my week on Dark Elf, by the way.
Tella is the 5%.
Wow.
That is, what is that? That's a 1% chance that has to fail. So very,
only for me, I swear it
very
hits.
unlucky.
Oh, well, I got it fine, but it took way longer than it should have.
Oh man.
8-bit, thank you. I'll take that as a compliment because I love Golden's voice, so.
You don't sound Minnesota.
Alright, one other
enough
thing.
to
Don't
be
forget
Golden's
Crystal.
voice, though.
Yeah, no, not even close.
Is it true that we've hit 5,000 viewers?
Oh yeah,
Is
we're
that
at 51,
51.57.
according to my exploit.
Awesome.
Yeah, thanks everybody so much.
Thanks,
I was
everybody,
my
so much,
personal
yeah.
goal was to break 2,000 at some point during the relay, so
That's out the window.
yeah.
In a good way, mind you.
Oh yeah.
You're as bad as this as we are at AGDQ estimates. Come on, man.
And everybody make sure to follow all of the runners' personal Twitch channels too. They're all really cool. I'm good at these games. And doing actual like PB or
I'd say
record
that
attempts
Black
is pretty different from doing races too, just because they take a lot more risks.
Yeah, we won't do safety
And I
saves.
think
There's way different
everybody
strategies.
Everybody here does
I'm
basically
getting
every
my-
category too, in one way or the other.
I mean, I'm
yeah,
like
it
the
gets
weirdest one here.
back attack karma right now.
I just want to remind everybody, I'm sure Abda's already passed the Dark Elf as well as Crumps, but grab the crystal before you leave.
Yep.
Oh, I think I did that. No, I didn't.
If you didn't, you're gonna know real soon.
Like, I can't be in the tower. I can't be in the tower without it.
Also, safety save before the tower. I should have healed while I was in there. Dang it.
This back attack's just nuts.
About time. What?
About time. Is
Kidding, obviously. It is,
Honestly,
actually. This
like-
is about when you start getting hit with back attacks most.
I just want to make sure you guys actually do follow the runners, because straight up, not all of us just only play Final Fantasy. I know that Abda has started working on Lufia too. He does Chrono Trigger. I know that's a big thing for people. Like Puexel, especially
learning Chrono Trigger slow.
FF7, FF9. Yeah. I know I can do Final Fantasy 4, 5, and 6, although my 5 and 6 are not as good as my 4. I also play Sweet Home, and then Elmegus, I know.
Elmegus does a ton of stuff. Like I know he does Lufia games.
Oh, yeah.
Like
Yeah, my specialty is Lufia 1 and Lufia 2.
Nice.
So like literally just follow us in general, because
Oh my
you never know
goodness.
what we're gonna run.
Yeah.
And a lot of us stick to RPGs, so if you're
It's awesome
big
how
into that,
it's
you'll
awesome just how
yeah.
big the RPG speedrunning community has gotten in the past few years too.
Yeah, it's amazing,
Yeah, and
honestly.
then
It's
this
grown
way-
exponentially.
and then you can also all harass us for our strats. I know I bug Puexel for 5 strats at times because I just don't think in that game for some reason. Except for when I need to
The
figure out
only
HP
reason I
specific
run this
stuff.
game is from Abda's notes and strats and Crumps. Those guys, like a year ago I started getting into running this game and they had already been running it, so don't be shy if you guys have any questions, or if you want to message us after this, if you guys are interested in running at all. We always want us to come and play.
I mean, yeah, you
There's-
can contact
Yeah,
any
we're
of
all
us.
pretty
I don't
open
have
as
a
far
lot
as
of
sharing
people
info,
that
so
get
it's
strats,
good
but
to have more
I know I gave Opta my strats, and then he took and made them better. So literally, you want people to come in because like every person running a game just optimizes strats that much better, and things get faster and get crazier. So we want more people in. We want to see you guys do this too.
Same goes for if you need help. We're all really active in SDA. I know, well, the people in the Skype call right now for sure. We're all real active on the SDA forums, and if you need any help with streaming or anything, you can hit me up personally. I don't know how everyone else feels, but it's kind of hard to take that first step and get started doing things. But hop on SDA, message us, do whatever.
Yeah, I had a lot of trouble beating the Mega Sisters as a kid, but yeah, this is all you have to do now. just arrange for Tella to have infinite MP and cast Meteor. What's so hard?
And it wasn't that long ago that we used to use the Earth Hammer, as kind of an AoE attack, and things have changed in the last little while.
Oh, crap. He doesn't have...
If I'm not mistaken, Rain, didn't your first SDA run didn't have the MP underflow? That was like one of the bigger
Yeah,
improvements. you
my
made.
my first marathon run, which was my first run I ever did start to finish without a reset, didn't have it in my first SDA submission, which was like 350 something.
Because I think the MP underflow had been known by Japanese FF4 runners for a while. but it wasn't introduced to the English-speaking community until about like 2 years ago or so, I think.
Yeah, it was
in
like
2012.
mid-2012.
I talked to mid 2012. I talked to Oxwist, and he's like, "Oh, you didn't know these glitches? Here's MP underflow, and here's 64 rooms. Here's miss skip." And at the time, like, we were not doing RTA so much that the rules weren't there. People weren't fans of them so much. So I knew about miss skip, and I didn't use it because it was a reset to do it.
Yeah.
So I figured, it'd be something cool for a marathon to show off, have some fun with. And I just kept it in my back pocket. I put up my video of my, my funny little thing, and no one ever asked. And then later on, RTA started coming into play, and Opta took that and actually drilled out the full strat for miss skip. But, I mean, everything's got its own place.
Apparently, according to chat, Essentia is from Finland. I don't know where that came from.
Just wanted to, and just shout-outs in general, too, to the Japanese Final Fantasy RTA community, too, just because for all of these games, a lot of strat improvements we've come up with the past few years from just from watching their videos on on
Indeed.
YouTube and on Nico Live and stuff like that, too.
I'll tell you pretty much, like, back when we were doing HEDQ 11, I actually ground both the PlayStation version of this game and the Super Nintendo version, and I intended to offer both up for HEDQ 11, but Mike was like, just do the Super Nintendo. Load times are an issue, and that way you won't have to try to explain differences. Just do that. So I did that, but so like I know how to run hard type from all of the strats. I just didn't know the manipulations and a few other things, but the route for Japanese FF4 hasn't really changed over the years too much.
Yeah.
It's mostly still
Before we get too
the
far
same.
away, too, also shout-outs to the Japanese RTA community for giving me the idea to do this relay, too, just because they did a similar event last year, too, which I watched a lot of, and was so much fun just to watch. Because just speedrunning RPGs, especially Final Fantasy and Dragon Quest, is really, really, really popular in Japan. So, I think, I mean, the skill level, there were enough players at such high skill levels that I think the split between first place and fourth place for their relay was only about an hour or so.
Oh wow.
Like, the only thing I want to say is that, like, everyone in Japan has a Dragon Warrior 3 time, or is it 4? I don't remember. There's one of them, like, everyone has a time.
3 is like Mario 64 is over here for Japan.
Yeah, it's like everyone has a Dragon Warrior 3 time. They're all good, and you're like, what?
So I got 5 back attacks in the Tower of Zot.
Whew.
And I got 3 of them in a row, so yay, RNG.
I think I got 5 as well. It was really bad. Alright,
I don't think there's been an area yet that I haven't gotten a back attack yet.
Yeah, back attacks are scary, and so is the PlayStation clock. That's the scariest thing ever. This might be a bit of information, but if you guys ever play the PlayStation version of FF4, because maybe it's the only one you have access to or whatever, set your battle speed low, because they messed up in that port, and the battle clock is based off the PlayStation's clock, and not the emulator's clock. So, Poexel knows of the joys of what that could cause.
Yeah, like PlayStation Battle Speed 1 Zeromus.
You mean the shaking simulator, 20 whatever.
Alright, so far so good.
I just wanted to say hi to everybody in my chat, and that I actually don't have my chat log pulled up. We're just all kind of centralized on Poexels, so if you guys have anything you want to get off your chest, that's the place to do it.
I mean, I thought about doing like a multi-Twitch layout or something like this for this relay, but I figured that just having all of it on my channel works better both for promoting the event and for having one chat room for everybody that's watching.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of
shoot.
stuff in chat about people talking about, you know, so-and-so's this far ahead, so-and-so's this far ahead, but like we've been saying, we'll kind of start getting to common areas where, like I'm in the Golbez cutscene right now, and you'll kind of see that even though we're in the world map and it seems like we're really far away,
it's
we're
not.
actually all really close. If Abda's 30 seconds ahead of everybody, he's not in the clear by any means, you know?
Oh my goodness.
You're never in the
that
clear
doesn't
with
sound
this
good.
game because any boss can just decide he doesn't like you.
Yeah.
Cough, cough with the contact.
Yeah, for the Valvalis battle, also known as Barbaricci, I think this is first time you see cover being kind of intentionally set up, where when Cecil is a paladin, he'll automatically take physical attacks in place of characters that are in critical HP. There's a couple cases where you want that, basically, so that only Cecil gets attacked, and that makes your healing a lot more efficient and less risky. And if Cecil is in the back row, too, that means that he can cover somebody that's in the front row and take half damage from it.
Alright, all done that fight.
You see that, you see cover being abused like that in all 3 games. It's a lot more
Yeah, all
potent
3.
in 5 and 6, too.
I just wanted to make a note
5
here, too, that if you read Abda's notes for this game, after the Val fight, it says, full heal in Cecil's room. Kinky.
How about
I just had to
Oh, wow.
throw that out there.
So, as a side note for people who don't really pay attention, Valvalis has a very nasty tendency of being very dodgy. Just a huge random factor at this is if whether or not Kane's jump actually does damage when he lands. If it does damage every time he lands, the fight goes really a lot faster than if he doesn't hit with the jumps. So that's like something that's not really... It doesn't really seem like it's a big deal, but if you miss every jump when he lands on the tornado, it's about a difference of like 30 seconds to a minute there.
Ooh, Cecil got hit.
And that's just a random factor, totally. We're going to jump regardless because you have to, but, you know, that's something totally beyond our control. Also, to note, I don't know if you guys wanted to talk about the steel bowling ball in comparison to the Japanese version.
Yeah, the guillotine.
Yep. Localization. Gotta keep it child friendly. Gotta
Yeah.
put a giant bowling ball on the top instead of a sharp guillotine.
No. The difference is that Golbez has different interests in the English one. In the English one, he likes to go bowling. In the Japanese one, he likes torture. It's obvious. I mean, that's the whole. So that's obviously the case, right?
Obvious.
Yeah, there's
Did we
little
mention
bits of
that, slow
censorship
stats?
in 4 and 6, just because 5 was never released outside of Japan in the 90s. But in 4 and 6, there's little censorship here and there because of 90s Nintendo of America standards. But I mean, as much of a hard time as people like to give Ted Woolsey for a lot of the zaniness in the FF6 translation, I think he did a really good job with what he had to work with. Just because I've played through FF6 with a literal Japanese to English translation patch now, and like a lot of Kefka's one-liners are just basic swearing in the Japanese version, which wouldn't fly in 90s Nintendo.
Yeah, I don't see that flying too well. Like Nintendo of America and cussing, those don't go hand in hand.
It's called Terra a
Alright.
Witch. Yeah, let's do that.
Okay, we still
Time
have
for
Team
the
Wyvern and
worst
Team
fight in the
Ralse
game.
basically in sync, starting the Valvalis battle.
Nava's coming up
Going
on a big
underground.
doll. I'm not too far back.
Oops. Let's land on the mountain.
Yeah, Pizza Cake, there's definitely a bowling alley in the Tower of Babel. 100%.
This part. This part. Ugh. I'm not looking forward to this big doll fight. She glanced Rosa twice in the same battle for me yesterday and kept getting cure 2'd.
Oh,
It was bad.
it's nasty.
So for those that don't know, we're doing something a little bit out of the ordinary here. What you're going to see on Abda's side first, but we're doing something out of the ordinary, fighting the big Calbrena doll instead of the 6 little ones.
Yeah, I mean, ordinarily they'd want to kill all 6.
There is an incentive for it as well.
Yeah, ordinarily they'd want to kill all 6 of the small dolls before they can merge, just because that's both, it's easy, it's a little safer, and it's faster, which is the important part, but, beating the big doll is very much possible, and if any of them can do it, they'll get a 3-minute bonus at the end.
Oh, it's
coming.
I
made it higher than the Zeromus one just because it actually takes a bit of time to do.
Yeah, Zeromus is just, it's going to happen or it's not.
Same thing with fighting because in FF5 fighting the final boss is actually optional, but if you do it, that's also a bonus. And I made that 5 minutes just because actually doing the fight is about like 2 to 2.5.
Yeah, that way it actually gives you some sort of incentive.
It's a fun fight too. There's a lot of wacky things that go on in that fight.
Yeah, I like the fight just because it kind of combines together almost all of the strats you used throughout the run too, as far as death by math, death by bribery, and doing AI manipulation.
Alright, dolls.
All time. Oh, here we go.
Yeah.
It begins.
Calbrena hype.
Here we go. Good luck, man.
Thank you.
No gold bells.
This is the trolliest thing, because every time you die to these... every time you die to the dolls, you have to watch them like dance in the crystal room again, and it's just like them taunting you, being like, "Hey, we just kicked your ass."
Yeah.
Let alone the music.
You listen to that droning music every time.
Yeah.
Many times.
Yeah, what makes the dolls battled nasty is just the fact that there's 6 of them, and the damage range is pretty wide. I mean, the damage range is wide for everything in this game, but it really matters here just because there's 6 dolls. So if a lot of them roll high damage when they attack you, it hurts a lot.
And the damage that your characters do is pretty random. You can get anywhere, and these are just not exact numbers, but I've seen Kane do anywhere from 400 to 700 damage on a jump, and then using dancing daggers anywhere from 150 to 400. So if you can jump on one doll and use dancing daggers and not kill it, and that definitely puts a little hinder on what you're trying to accomplish.
Alright, here we go.
Do you leave Cecil in the back row, Abda?
Yeah.
I've already passed that part of setting it, so, but I did too. Here comes the fun.
Oh god. Okay.
Oh, him muting Cecil wasn't a controller malfunction, by the way, too. That matters for the Golbez battle that's coming up next. No. Alright, big doll time. But yeah, the trigger for them merging into merged Calbrena is all of the dolls of one color being dead. So if in a normal fight, you'd want to line it up so that you kill the last one of each color the same turn before they can get a turn off to merge. What makes this challenge a little interesting too is that you do have a time limit to kill the big doll too before it splits up into 6 smaller ones again.
Isn't it just based on like
HP? I thought that was also based off damage. If you get under 1,000 HP without killing it, it'll turn back in. It'll run out of power and turn back into the 6 dolls.
Yep. It'll recombine.
Also, casting slow multiple times does actually stack to make it slower each time, so it's pretty good. Most games you just can do it once, but this one's a bit different.
No! Oh my god.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
That does not sound good.
No.
slow. What the heck?
And
I'm
just
sorry,
so
Honda,
people
I was
that
watching. You can blame me.
people that aren't familiar with this fight as well, if you go into the Golbez fight with anybody dead in your party, you're not going to be able to do the cane jump, which allows you to attack Golbez much quicker and do more damage than you normally would. So it makes that Golbez fight go from basically an instant win to kind of clinching a little bit.
He took Rosa again. No.
Aww.
Oh, God.
Wow, I'm really delayed then if that big no is because of the doll splitting again.
Oh, wow, that sucks.
Mm-hmm. Tip number 2.
Because they do actually have to kill the big doll in order to get the 3 minutes too.
Yes, Rosa knocked herself back. Thank you.
So I guess the big question, Poexel, is if we end up killing the big doll twice, do we get 6 minutes off instead of 3?
No.
Can we just sit here and
if you do
kills?
kill the big doll and then die to Golbez, you still get and you can do the regular strat for Calbrena the second time, and you'll still get the.
I think you have to be more evil than that. You have to kill Golbez too for it to count.
Yes, got it.
Woo! I'm dedicating my Calbrena fight to Rain, who thinks that it's the easiest fight in the game.
Screw that! I'm dedicating mine to Rain, my teammate. He gave me the hype for that one.
All right, good job, Crumps.
Ah, I got it.
Here's the
So we
funny
pretty
fact,
much have
like, I
almost a
don't know why.
two-way. We have a two-way tie going pretty much now after that between Team Egg and Team Waterfall, and then Team Wyvern and Team Ralse.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy. But for
Crux is a
anyone
bit ahead,
who
but-
doesn't know about this fight, it's really crazy because Calbrena, the big doll, has the widest range of damage possible. She can punch you for 400 or she can punch you for 1,000 on Cecil in the front row.
Yep,
So literally,
she was hitting me for 200 the entire time.
All right, so what they just
If you-
did with Golbez is a trick too, where they had Kane jump before the whole scripted part of the battle starts, with Golbez paralyzing you and then summoning his Shadow Dragon. So that makes it so that Kane doesn't get killed by the Shadow Dragon, and you actually have 3 living characters, which kind of trivializes this fight.
Actually, most of the time,
Whoever's got the
really
real
lucky-
waterfall going, could you mute Skype?
No, that's just me. I forgot something.
Okay.
That's Team Waterfall.
Yeah.
Throwing the highlight for the waterfall. It's over.
Come on, give me radio.
Sorry,
Let's do.
I forgot. I stepped away and I was just trying to make tea, so I was just rinsing something very quickly and I forgot. My
Does
bad.
it have sugar and honey and lots of lard?
Wow.
It has
Everything
some
about
honey and stuff, but I don't have any lard. I'm sorry. I'm not. This is not
So
FF7.
you forgot the lard then. Damn.
I just got a Rydia attack without her on the screen. The whip just attacked from nowhere. Watch mine.
That's never
what?
happened before for all of you? Or?
What?
I've never seen
I'm
that.
so confused.
There she is.
It did damage. Like,
It's
what?
64 damage.
Yeah, I just saw it. Wow.
What just happened?
Nothing happened.
It would have been great if that had
Nope.
killed him too.
Oh, I would
that'd
have
be
laughed
awesome.
so hard.
Okay.
I would feel wow, that would have been so weird.
Something weird happened for me too. Rydia healed me, but I didn't. Was still muted afterwards. I can't remember if that happens all the time or not.
The reason why they muted Cecil during the Calbrena battle too is because this game's old enough that it's not capable of handling characters having more than one status condition at the same time. So if you have the mute status, that actually means you don't get paralyzed by the whole gas too. That also
This fight is
allows
going
you to
horrible,
Cecil.
by the way.
First things first.
So I pretty much broke even on Calbrena. It lost me 3 minutes, and then I gained 3 minutes for killing the big doll.
Whereas I got 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Alright, the other fun part is that warp spell that you're about to see me cast here.
This
Or that
is
you just did
horrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, even Golbez is confused with what happened on mine. Just what?
Golbez
Why?
was a little